Welcome you back to Newsmax Now. Yesterday, Steve Malzberg sat down with the director of Jihad Watch, Robert Spencer, for an in-depth look at what happened in Texas at that shooting at the free speech event over the weekend. Spencer was at the Mohammed cartoon event when those shots were fired. Here's what he had to say.
The signers of the Declaration of Independence, they pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. Patrick Henry said, "Give me liberty or give me death." We have to do more now. We can't submit, we can't subjugate ourselves and show that violent intimidation works. That way we'll only get more of it.
So when you say do more, you mean more such events?
Yeah, we have to stand. We have to stand and show you're not going to frighten us into silence.
And what is the future of free speech in this country, do you believe? Because, you know, all the way from when Hebdo happened, it was all the way from the president on down. Yeah, oh yeah, freedom of speech. But and you could go back to Carney when he was press secretary. I forget what the exact event was then. Said similar things, but was it smart to do it? And there have been calls for, and you know this better than I, and you could probably cite who's done the calling for instituting these restrictions on free speech if they're offensive, especially when it comes to Islam.
I think it's coming, Steve, and it's very dangerous. And that's one of the ways in which the left and the Muslim advocacy groups will try to exploit this event last night. But the reality is that these kinds of hate speech laws are inimical to the foundation of a free society.
A lot of controversy still surrounding that free speech event in Garland, Texas. Some people are actually pointing the finger at the woman who helped organize that event, saying that she should have anticipated that something like that would happen there. And others, of course, are coming to her side, saying, no, you cannot.
Yeah, and we just played that clip not too long ago of one of the shooters, the attacker's mother. And gosh,
that was gut-wrenching.
Gosh, that was emotional. But, you know, when you look at this, we're hearing now the FBI investigating the possible international ties, ISIS claiming responsibility for this attack. What I am looking to see if there's any connection to is whether or not either one of these two guys went overseas. That, I think, is going to be a huge development in this case if we learn that. You know, it's so easy now for somebody to tune into the internet, claim they are a jihadist or a member of the Mujahideen and go out and do something like this. But what the real concern is, you know, that's part of it, but also these Americans and North Americans we hear about going over to Syria, going over to Iraq, joining ISIS, and then coming back home. Was there any of that going on here? That's what I need to know right now.
Well, we'll continue to follow that story and, of course, bring you the very latest information on that. But let's turn now to a lighter side of news.
Lighten it up.
Let's lighten it up. Our next segment is inspired by those headlines that just seem, you know, just too strange to actually be real. We like to call it real versus fake. So feel free to play along. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
All right, this first headline caught many by surprise despite tensions in the Middle East. Here it is. Obama lays out a plan to achieve lasting peace talks in the Middle East. So what do you think, John? Real or fake?
Well, I guess every president has tried to achieve a lasting peace in the Middle East, at least since 1948. But this one almost definitely fake. The word giving it away, lasting. Yes.
Yes.
We know John Kerry worked very hard on this without success. The headline belonging here to an article in The Onion poking fun at the president's approach to the conflict, which, as we often like to talk about too, is not working.
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next headline, Miranda. Human-shaped species of mushroom.
Say what?
That's right. A human-shaped species of mushroom discovered in the United Kingdom. There are so many programs used to manipulate photos, though. Can you tell if these are real or fake?
Oh, wow, look at that. You know, I'm going to say this one's tough, but that looks real to me.
Yeah, it is actually real. These are mushrooms that resemble stick figures. I don't know why it took so long to discover them in the UK, but there you go. I don't know.
We're discovering species every day.
A guy named Jonathan
Rivet,
a mushroom collector, stumbled across these on the side of the road. He had never seen anything like them before, and sure enough, he discovered a new species. But are they poisonous? Let's throw it out.
You're thinking of morels or something. You're like, I wonder if those would be tasty.
I was also thinking, would they taste good?
Yeah, we'll have to find out. Now, Florida is known for its outlandish residents. Some blame it on our 200 days of sunshine a year, but I don't know if the sun had anything to do with this next headline, John.
All right.
Here it is. Florida man arrested for car surfing. Is this real or fake?
Well, I don't know if the arrest is real. The video certainly looks real, and it is real. We've seen these clips posted on the internet. Obviously not a smart thing to do, even though it might be thrilling for some. You hear about teenagers especially doing this stuff, but good to see the cops getting involved here.
I don't
Because how would you
understand
feel
that.
if you were riding behind that person and they fell off and you ran over them?
I think I-95 living in Florida is dangerous enough.
Oh, we had to take this. Can we go back to that video real quick?
Yeah,
They had
it's
to take
dangerous
down
enough
the arrest.
as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Find another way to impress your girlfriend.
All right, so that's our segment, Real or Fake. We promise, though, coming up, we're going to focus mostly just on real stories. A lot to get to. Big day out there.
All
We're going
right.
to talk more about Ben Carson's announcement and also Mike Huckabee.
And you
jumping
mentioned
in.
Ben Carson. He saved lives, but can he save our country? Up next, Newsmax Prime host J.D. Hayworth talks about his exclusive interview with Dr. Ben Carson.